Show starts in 4 minutes, you heard? Good morning, what up? It's KaleafWins, the show starts in 4 minutes, you heard? Good morning. Show starts in 3 minutes, you heard? Show starting in 1 minute, you heard? Good morning. I said good morning. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Morning Motivation Show. Good morning. Yeah, what's going on, everybody? My name is KaleafWins, host and creator of the Morning Motivation Show. This show is just a quick pick-me-up in the morning, especially before you go to work, especially before you start the day. And the reason I created the show is because I was tired of waking up, getting on my phone just to go through the net, and was giving me a supercharge. You know, something that gives me a quick joke. You know what I'm saying? Jolts, G-O-J-O-L-T. See, this is live. It's all live. No edits, no cuts. Y'all gonna see me raw in the flesh. You understand what I'm saying? Big shout to DPD to the collection. I'm wearing one of his collection lines right here. Type in to your search engine to DPD collection and invest in your hat. Support black businesses, you heard? My name is KaleafWins. And as we always do, when I start off my show, you know what I'm saying? When I start off my show, as we always do every morning, I think it's time, and I really think it's time for that quick pick-me-up. Let's go. Hey, hey, hey. This is your quick pick-me-up for the morning for today. What's going on? What's going on? I am your host, KaleafWins. Let's get our day started right, you heard? Let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go. Come on. Stop opening doors for toxic people and calling it seizure. You know what I'm saying? Be so private, they can't do nothing but assume your moves. Let's go, that's a fact. Don't fear change, change fear. Realize that some people are loyal to you. They're loyal to the need of you. Once it changes, so that it does their loyalty. Ain't that a fact? Old self, you change. Never forget those that helped you before you even had that. That's a fact. R.I.P. to the opportunities we miss because of shyness and low self-esteem. That's a fact. You're better than a narrative that your anxiety is creating in your head. It's a fake narrative. That's a fact. Stop carrying old feelings into new experiences. Ain't that a fact? Be careful what you tolerate. That's how people will treat you. I repeat, be careful what you tolerate, because that's how people will treat you, and that's a fact. Once you determine what you want, you have made the most important decision of your life. You have to know what you want in order to attain it. Say that. That's a fact. When you change, don't announce it. Just bloom. Make your moves in silence, you heard? Take it. Hey, don't stress too much about tomorrow. Nah, chill. That's a fact. And like we always say in this show, like we always say in this show, hey, today is my day no matter what. I won't let any hater at my office get me down. I won't let me stress myself out. I decide today to have a great day. You know what I'm saying? I decide today to have a great day. Listen, I don't know if y'all hear me. Repeat after me this morning. Today is my day no matter what. I won't let any hater in my office. I won't let any hater in my life. I won't let any hater trying to text me right now. I won't let any negative vibe affect my day and get me down. I won't let me stress myself out. I decide today to have a great day. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Morning Motivation Show. How you doing? How you doing? Welcome to today's show. It's called How Your Environment Can Block Your Success. Now, why did I come up with this title? You know me. I always come up with these shows literally, and it'd be like the night before. You know, I'm really the usual pre-planner, but everything to me is about seasons and feelings and energies and how I feel and what I want to share. Because one thing I'm not going to do with the Morning Motivation Show is come out here and cap and be like, oh my God, life is perfect. Oh my God, I got it all together. Let me tell you the motivation from me getting, no, we all imperfect. We have crappy days. We have crappy mornings. We have great days. We have great mornings. And listen, I'm going through right now. But when I know I'm going through, that means I'm trying to do something. I'm going through it. Thank you, DPD Collection in the comments. Proud of you, brother. I'm proud of you too, fam. This is the DPD Collection. I'm rocking right here. You know what I'm straight out of Chicago, Illinois right now. Straight out of Chicago, Illinois. Listen, I'm KaleafWins, the creator of the Morning Motivation Show, live streaming from New York every Monday, Tuesdays, and Wednesdays, 8 a.m. Eastern Time, YouTube Live. You heard? And this is just season 1 of the Morning Motivation Show. You know, I'm trying to figure out when I'm going to stop this season, but something makes me feel like, yo, I don't want to stop this good energy in the morning because I need it as a quick pick-me-up. I don't just be doing this show just to help people. I do the show for me to jumpstart my entire day because I got to get into that routine of saying, you know what, I have to shock my system. I have to keep it moving. I have to do what I got to do. People say, where do you get that energy from? I get the energy from because sometimes life is so stressful, I got to just run and gun through it. I got to run and gun. I got to take my rest breaks. I got to take my time breaks. But yo, I have to start myself. And one area that I've been really thinking about because I for real need to level up in areas of my life. I have a burning desire to do so is I have to change my environment. Because in order to level up, I got to change my environment to be around certain people. But let me not even go further. Let me go into my intro so you can understand what the show is all about. Let's go.
Our environment shapes our subconscious mind. Think about it. Whatever is in your immediate environment, whatever you're constantly giving and seeing and consuming content-wise, whatever's in whatever you're watching on TV, your environment, the people around you, shapes your mind. That's why they say hang out with millionaires, you'll be the sixth. That's because your environment plays a huge role in your mental health, in your mind.
Every level of success is just about your awareness. So if you only stay in the same place, you only see the same people, where you're going to have the same mindset, and you're never going to be able to achieve what it is that you want. Because whatever it is that you want that you don't already have is waiting for you just outside of your comfort zone. So get out and go experience something.
If you want a quick tip to make noticeable change quickly with very little effort, all you need to do is make some small changes in your environment so that it subconsciously encourages you to do the things that you want to do. You need to understand that every repeated action that we make is triggered by some sort of cue in the environment. And by far the most powerful cues are visual ones. So by making a small shift in what you see, you can start to make dramatic shifts in the things that without having to make a lot of conscious, motivated effort to change. It's all about becoming an architect of your environment, designing it so that the cues for the behaviors that you want to encourage are as obvious as possible, and making the cues for behaviors you don't want to do anymore as invisible as possible. If you can do that, you can start to change your behavior without having to use a ton of willpower or motivation to do it.
A lot of times it's not you, but it is the environment that you're in. So sometimes what you need to do for you is to get out of that environment and find one that understands and sees your value and your worth. But most of the time it's the people who you're around. Go to where you can grow, where you can glow, but always know it's not you. Don't beat yourself up and don't give all these crazy excuses and thoughts and let them continue to go in your brain. It's really just you need to step back and look at the things that are around you.
Yeah, that's a fact. And that's literally why I came up with this show. I was doing research for myself. Most of my shows is literally, you know what, let me look into things so that I can level up. I want more out of life, y'all. I want more out of life. I want more out of life. You know how some of us, we get stuck in particular ruts, particular what I call Groundhog Day situations where you're like, yo, bro, I've been having the same type of month. Yo, I want this. I desire this extra level in my life. I desire to make this type of money. I desire to live in this type of environment. I desire to have this friendship group. I desire to really just not overthink the process, but I need a direction, God. I need a direction, universe. Where do I go? Like, I know that I was born for greater things. I know I'm supposed to be doing something that really my gut is directing me saying, yo, this is too comfortable. I'm not trying to stay in the same place. I'm too comfortable. I'm uncomfortable from being too comfortable, being stuck in the same cycle of events. And for all you people that are most definitely younger than me, there's this movie a long time ago that, Groundhog Day came out from Bill Murray. And he woke up every morning, he found himself stuck in a loop of that same day, doing the same thing every day. And it just got sickening. He was like, oh my God, the same person at the store says the same thing to me when I go to the store. This happens every time I come into work. This happens every time I go home. This happens every night. I mean, this is the same loop. People stuck in the same time loop. Myself last night, it's like, yo, I love the level that I'm at. I'm no shot at it. I love where I'm at. But since I want better, I need to change my environment, because right now, everything I'm trying to do to get out of this situation, I feel stuck. And have you ever felt like that? You're like, yo, I'm doing this, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. And see, progress, we can never see it. You know, progress, we can never see the changes, because the progress in life with anything, you go to a gym, you ain't gonna have muscles the first week of going to the gym. It doesn't work like that. It's a slow progress, and it's a build. In my season of building, and my season of where I'm at for this first season, one in the morning motivation show, this my season of life, especially before I'm about to have a child in like 6 weeks or 5.5 weeks, I'm just like, yo, I'm intentional. I need something different. I need something bigger. I need something better. So I got to change my environment. But why is my environment not changing? And that's why I came up with the topic of the show. And this is what I want to share today. I have some jam-packed information. And towards the end of the show, I got some information that I had to ask myself questions. And questions here for you guys to ask yourself at the end of the show. And they're really introspective questions. It might be a trigger warning for certain people, like when you read the questions, because sometimes we don't like to see ourselves. We don't like to see. We stop doing the thing that we really wanted to do. And that's the end of questions. But right now, let's get to some areas of benefits of how to change your environment. Again, I had to start this off. What are the benefits of changing my environment? And I wrote it up last night, and I want to share it to you right now. So here's some benefits to changing your environment. Number one, you can boost motivation and productivity. What does that mean? Your environment has a significant impact on your motivation and your productivity. If you're constantly surrounded by clutter, noise, or distractions, it can be challenging to focus on your goals and make progress towards them. By changing your environment, you create a space that fosters motivation and productivity. Now, again, to some people, they're probably saying, oh my God, he said productivity too much. No, forget the word. Just think about it. What's our area looking like in the physical? What's our area looking like in terms of clutter, in terms of our mind and how we think? What's our whole relationships like? Is it like we just around nothing but messy people, or we just talk to that one messy person in our life that we love too much? Yo, I changing my environment. Again, title of the show is How Your Environment Can Block Your Success. One of the benefits is boosting motivation and productivity, and it starts with that area. Second area, benefits of changing your environment is providing new perspectives. What do I mean? When you stay in the same environment for an extended period, it's easy to become complacent and stuck in your ways. By changing your, see, we live and direct. This is not perfect, and I gotta move in imperfection forward. By changing your environment, traveling to a new place, attending a workshop or conference, and simply exploring a new neighborhood. Listen, watch the hood you explore. You know what I'm saying? You can expose yourself to new perspectives, ideas, and experiences. This can help you expand your worldview, challenge your beliefs, and develop empathy for understanding others. That's the second benefit of it. Provides a new perspective. And this is true. Think about it. I don't know about y'all, but in the summers, I used to go to the South, to North Carolina, or back to Puerto Rico, and things of that nature. And then you would spend like 3 months. You ever had a summer break and spend 3 months in a totally different environment? Then when you came back to your block, you came back to your school when school started when you were a kid, you added new experiences. And from that new experiences, created new perspectives. And then you felt like you had a more world view. Whether you traveled overseas or traveled to a different state, you got out of your usual environment that you're in for that whole year. And then you come back to your original environment with a new perspective. And that's a second benefit of changing your environment. Now let's get to the third benefit of changing your environment. We're live. Third benefit of changing your environment is reduces stress and anxiety. Let me explain. Again, this ain't motivational fluff. This literally, anything that comes to change, we have to focus on the fundamentals. My whole life, I tell myself, again, because I'm part of the short attention span gang, you know what I'm saying? And people like me with a short attention span were like, oh my, that just sounds like some motivational fluff. No, every process of change requires focusing on the fundamentals of change. And what might be easy that can go over my head, because trust me, I wrote this up. And I said to myself, as I'm doing my research, reading articles, looking at videos that just to help heal myself or help add to myself things that I share in this show, I always challenge everything I bring up to this show because I'm like, yeah, whatever. This sounds fluffy. But no, think about it. A benefit to changing the environment, and it's true, is that it reduces stress and anxiety because your environment can have a significant impact on your mental and emotional well-being. If you're surrounded by chaos, noise, and negativity, it can increase the stress and anxiety levels. By changing your environment, even if it's something as simple as creating a common bedroom area to your head after a long day of work or a long day of whatever, establishing a good meditation practice. Now, again, if people ain't into meditation, meditation can be as simple as, I'm going to shut it down and I'm going to play some lo-fi hip-hop on YouTube, and I just need to relax. I need to shut my brain. Or you can reduce stress and anxiety levels to help you improve your mental and emotional health. Now, here's the thing. For people that says, well, whatever. Nah. Like I always say every show, if we make the effort to turn the cell phone so it doesn't overheat, if we make the effort to shut off our laptop or to stop running an appliance in the house, why are we not making the same effort to stop running the appliance of our mind, the appliance of our emotions, and the appliance of our body? Like that is another benefit to change your environment because, for example, I'm a New Yorker, native New Yorker, born and raised, you heard. And it's cool. I love where I'm from. But it's like this. It's like this all the time. Vroom, 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 vroom. Everything is fast. I don't have a problem with things being super fast. But when I come home, I got to just slow it down. I got to just relax. I got to just let me just turn this volume down a little bit. I got to recollect my mind. And that's why the first area that I really focus on is my house and where I live. And that's why this benefit of changing your environment, it reduces stress and anxiety because you can't run on 10, 24 hours. If you think you can run on 10, 24 hours, you are lying to yourself. Trust me. I've lied to myself. We got to have our cool down breaks. Everything has to just have a season. I'm on when I'm on at certain parts in the day. Like me, the reason I do the morning motivation show crazy early in the morning because I'm on. In the morning, boom, I'm on. Then I start to temper down later in the day, later in the evening. But this is my optimal time. You may have your optimal time maybe at night. But for me, this third benefit of changing your environment, it reduces stress and anxiety. The fourth area benefit of changing your environment is it encourages healthy habits. Now, just don't think this is healthy eating habits. It could be that, but just healthy habits in general. Your environment can encourage or discourage healthy habits. By changing your environment, you can create a space that supports your health and wellness goals. This may sound simple, this may sound fundamental, but we all have unhealthy habits. I'll go to mine. I drink entirely too much coffee. Maybe that's my half Puerto Rican side. I just dump cups of coffee within me. Pause. You know what I'm saying? Dump cup of coffee. I don't know about y'all, but I drink like 6 cups of coffee a day. Not in the morning before the show. I drink 1 before the show, but throughout my day, any Puerto Rican you know, any Dominican you know, any Spanish person you know, that café is a must. But since I'm half black and half Puerto Rican, my half black side, at night I make the mistake of having an unhealthy habit. I like to eat like a lot of things culturally that with my Puerto Rican side. I got unhealthy eating habits in certain areas, but then sometimes I thought to myself last night, yeah, the benefit of changing my environment is it encourages healthy habits because maybe my environment is helping me go to an unhealthy form of thinking. Again, this sounds so people, but when you focus on the fundamentals, you see the areas of stress that we all have. Again, I gotta keep it a buck when I'm on my show. I'm trying to level up. When we're trying to level up, part of that could be the environment that we're in that's not letting us level up. Like literally, do we have a healthy habit mentally or how we think about things? Maybe our unhealthy habits come from who we on the phone with all the time. Sometimes you got to just tell some people you love, like, listen, fam, I'm in the season of focus. I got to fall back. I'll put you up in 6 months. If somebody gets offended by you trying to say, yo, I'm just trying to move forward, I'm trying to do my thing, I can't talk every day on this negative energy on the phone. I can't talk every day with a person that complains on the phone. I can't keep on doing these unhealthy habits. I got to change my environment. And I'm going to get into areas of how you can change your environment, but I'm just saying the benefits. And here's the last and final benefit to change your environment that I've collated. If you have great benefits to change your environments, please put it in the comments. It inspires creativity and innovation. This is the important part. If we're trying to level up financially, we're trying to level up in our career, you're trying to start a business, you're trying to do something new, you're just trying to do something different. A great benefit and the last benefit that I've explored, and if you have any better, put in the comments, of changing my environment is inspiring creativity and innovation. What does that mean? Our environment can also impact our creativity and innovation. If you feel stuck in the same routine, like I said before, it can be challenging to come up with new ideas and solutions to problems. By changing your environment, you can stimulate your creativity and inspire innovation. This can help you develop new skills, enhance problem-solving abilities, and find, here we go, new opportunities for growth and development. At the end of the day, if you're feeling like I am today, and you're like, yo, I'm tired of just living in this loop, this consistent same loop and getting the same results. You know, like I said yesterday's show, old keys don't open new doors. I need to change my environment just for the mere benefit of helping me see things differently, helping me think about things differently, helping me inspire me so I can make different moves. And that's really the kicker right there. If I'm trying to be better, do, think better, those are 5 benefits to help me change my environment. So again, if you have any comments about that, I really want to see it. Even though we're live, the show goes on. I share the show. If you know somebody who needs to share the show, please do so. Let me really ask everybody watching a quick question before I go to something else, to this area. What do you want different? Real talk. Everybody has a root reason why they want to change their environment or to even get better or to add something new in their life. Always starts with us. I have my reasons. I feel like I'm stuck in a loop, but I'm trying to advance to a different level of my content creation career, a different level of my content creation business. So I have to change my environment. I can't talk to the same people. I can't chill around the same people unless we have the same type of goals. Because a lot of people don't understand where I'm at. But for you watching, what is your why and your reason as to why you want to level up different? And why do you want to change your environment? Because if you don't stick into that why of why you want to change your environment, then you ain't gonna never change your situation. And I've been there. On the flip side, some people, this might not be their season to change their environment. But you know, I'm having a personal mental argument with myself. If you want better and you have a burning desire to do better, you will make an opportunity to change your environment. Before I move on, let me run this real quick so you guys can catch a whiff for this.
Trying to change your life and keep falling into old habits. There's a lot of data around what I'm about to tell you. One of the major issues is anytime you try to change, the people around you see you a certain way. They're going to treat you a certain way. Let's say, for instance, you're the party guy and you don't want to be the party guy anymore. Everybody is going to try to place you back in that mold. Then we could go into the glass windows theory or big fish, small fish. What you see and what is in your become accustomed to. Good or bad. Overall, what I would suggest is a complete environment change. Nobody to put you in a mold. You get to, in essence, become a new person.
You don't need to fix yourself, you need to fix your environment. But when you plant a flower, you don't give it enough sun. It's not the right environment for it. You don't blame the flower for wilting and not growing and flourishing and being colorful and bright and all the things that make flowers wonderful. You know that you need to move the flower to a different environment so it can thrive. The same thing holds true for people. Speaking for myself, I worked in New York City for a decade. I was living a very fast-paced, sensorily overstimulating life. I didn't know I was autistic, and I was trying to mold myself in the environment that I was in to my non-autistic friends, and it nearly put me in a mental hospital. When I got diagnosed as autistic at the age of 30, I realized that my anxiety, my depressive episodes, my non-speaking episodes were mostly a result of my environment. While there's things I needed to work on, mostly I didn't need to fix myself, I needed to fix my environment.
You have to set boundaries in your own life. There are people who, in their presence, it makes it much harder for you to succeed. The right kind of friends you want, they talk about a shared future. You're always talking about vision, driving forward. The people that you probably don't want in your life, they're constantly reliving the past because that's the only thing that's ever good for them.
Maybe it's yourself as well. Maybe even your negative self-talk is the culprit. But let me tell you something. If you're depressed, you're feeling down, you're feeling sad, you're feeling lonely, I want you to do one thing. I want you to get out of the environment you're in. Stop talking to the people you've been talking to and start finding other people to talk to, other more positive, ambitious people, and you will get out of your funk.
Where's the lie? Where's the lie? Again, your environment is not just one geography. What do I mean? Changing your environment is something I'm learning about. I ain't got the money to be traveling overseas. Like, I don't know about y'all. You know, I ain't got the bag for that. But changing your environment is not just about physical geography. Where can I walk to? Where can I go? It could be your mental geography. How do I think? What do I put in my brain? And it can be your emotional geography. What are things that I'm around in my life that I'm letting stress me by sitting in the same environment? And a perfect example of that is cabin fever. What is cabin fever? Cabin fever is like, and I'll say this, during the pandemic, all of us had particular cabin fever. We were stuck in the house till 1T47. I don't know about y'all, but in New York City, everything was locked down. It was like in big shout out to LAW, Supreme Facts. I seen them in the comments right there. You know, that's Supreme Facts. Like, we were stuck in the house for like over a year. And that cabin fever. Think about how you were mentally during the pandemic. Some people mentally were not in the right place. Since I like to keep it indoors, I felt decent, but some months I was like, bro, I just need to walk outside. But that whole pandemic experience for us all, because most of us dealt with the experience, well, all of us dealt with the experience for the most part. I don't know who's watching this in what country and what part of the world. That staying in that same environment was like, yo, but remember when we got out? Free at last, thank God Almighty, I'm free at last. Remember that feeling? It was like, yo, in New York, especially when we got out the house and the lockdown was, I was like, yes, I can get to change my environment. But what happened to all of us when we were just out of the house and being in the house from like over a year, or for some people out the house earlier or whatever, we just started having new experiences, new perspectives. It was like more positive energy on our life. That is the boldest example of what I can put in terms of changing my environment. And again, what's going on, everybody? My name is KaleafWins, the host of the Morning Motivation Show. And today's episode is about how your environment can block your success. We went over benefits of changing your environment. You know, you got to hear some different people and their experiences. And let me talk about those videos of what I just shared. And before I do, I have some comments I want to get to. Lawrence Law says, Long Island is the definition of quarantine, but I will always choose one day just to walk for an hour for air. That's a fact. Again, if I want to, watch difficult. These things are real. You know what I'm saying? It's a live show. Big shout out to my fraternity, Phi Beta Sigma Fraternity Incorporated. It's so early, I'm mumbling my words. Maybe I need a cup of coffee. But anyway, we live. So here's the thing. Think about the videos that we just watched. And the things that I always compile for my show is just making me understand that I'm not the only one that feels this way. And I had a conversation on a TikTok live yesterday because I talked to content creators all throughout the week. I'm a social media strategist. Again, if you need social media strategy for your brand and your business and learn how to create a social presence, hit me in my link in bio, scroll to the bottom and book your session. And I was talking to some content creators about their content strategy. Again, I'm not getting deep. The show is about changing your environment. The show was not about me. Let's put this out there. And I was talking to people and I said, yo, we are using our apps the wrong way. Think about it. We have access to millions of people with our cell phone on different apps, whether you use Twitter, Facebook, TikTok, YouTube, whatever you're on, whatever's your jam. But we're using the apps in the wrong way. Again, if you want to change your environment, it literally starts from where you are in your phone, in your hand. One step I always tell people, if you're tired of seeing the same things on your timeline, and I told them yesterday, if you're tired of seeing the same people that you're following, unfollow the usual and follow the new. And when I said that yesterday, I was like, oh my God, this is facts for my life. If I want to do different, to see different, we need to unfollow habits in real life. We need to unfollow people out of our phone. Block and delete is your friend in real life. We need to create those boundaries and we need to change our environment. Think about it. We handle our social media pages and prune it better than we prune our real lives. And again, I can't get mad at myself, at all, but unless I know how to get out of a situation and I know I got to get out of a problem and I know I got to change my environment and I don't make it happen. Everything in life, for the most part, is our fault. We got to change it. And I was talking to the content creators yesterday. I was like, yo, we got to use these apps for positive reasons. And I told them to prune their timeline. It just hits me in my mind. Like, yo, and by the way, Laura, I saw the comment. That could be the name of an EP. You know what I'm saying? We'll talk later. But when it comes to changing the environment, If I prune my social media feed, why am I not pruning my life? Why am I not proving my habits? Why am I not unfollowing thought process, unfollowing real people in my life, just not going to the same places in the same environment? But let me get to some real talk. But before I get to some real talk and these penetrating questions right now, pause. These real questions right now, please, to support my show, because this is my show, my creation, my baby, and I'm really going to bring it to bigger and better things. I need your help to support the show. Number one, subscribe and share my YouTube channel. Trying to get to that point of monetization. I'm not ashamed to ask. I'm trying to get to my, 4,000 watch hours, 1,000 subscribers, so I can really bring this message home. Second way that you can donate and help support my show is hit me in Cash App at $KaleafWins. I need cameras, new laptops, new setup. I want to bring new people. I want to be in person and things of that nature. Please, if you want to support my show, hit me up in Cash App, $KaleafWins, or go to my link in bio, click on the support my show tab and hit me through other measures. But please support this show if it helps you. But getting back to the message at hand, here is the message of the day. Remember every excuse you gave yourself to stop trying. Use those old excuses as your fuel to win. Use your as a weapon to work harder towards your goals. Why'd I write this? Listen, I'm a writer. I go through things I stress, I get in my phone and I write it out. I always have this big burden, like if the universe or God just gives me these ideas, I gotta write it down, because you gotta write the vision down on tablets and make it plain. You heard? You got to, even though it may tarry, it's going to come in due season. Every time something hits my mind, I write it. And this is what I wrote yesterday. And it was like, all these questions are questions I ask myself. But this message of the day right here is something I wrote to myself that I want to share with everybody. Remember this for yourself. If you want to level up, and yes, you're going to change your environment. You want better in your life financially, better in your career. If you're a musician, if you want bigger shows, bigger stages, bigger likes, ask yourself, or say to yourself, remember every excuse you gave yourself to stop trying. Use those old excuses as your fuel to win, and use your frustrations as a weapon to work harder towards your goals. No matter how much of a high achieving person you are in your life. Listen, I'm a literal overworker. I got like 3 shows on the internet that I'm really building, but overwork. Even if I don't see my own progress, there are times we feel like, we're not good enough or we've missed opportunities. But a lot of times, in order to stop those things from hovering over my head and creating a burden with my head, I literally wrote this down last night. I had to remember every excuse I gave myself to stop trying and stop trying to do better in my life. I had to literally use those old excuses as fuel so I can win, and then use my frustrations as a weapon towards your goals. I had a homegirl of mine this week, and she was like, how you got this energy? Why are you so hyped? I was like, do you know what it is? Depression is real, mental health is real, and in order to help my mental health, anytime something feels like, oh my God, you missed this opportunity, we all go through that internal thought process. Every time I get that frustration, in order for it not to weigh on me, I have to use the frustration, and we got to put energy somewhere. I got to use it as ammunition. Anytime I feel like I failed in a situation, I got to use it in my fuel as a weapon. Work harder towards my goals. We all mess up, and it just sucks that we all program ourselves to think that, I gotta be perfect. I gotta look like this person. I gotta look like that person. I gotta get in that racehorse mentality. Again, this ain't fake motivation, just real life. We go through it. We may be down bad right now. I'm not gonna lie, I'm gonna keep it a buck, real talk. Like, my life ain't super peachy right now, you heard? But I had 2 choices. I'm like, am I going to let this bomb on my head? Pause. Hey, we ain't going to let that bomb on our head. But I caught myself, fam. You sound crazy. But seriously, when we go through these mental health struggles, these things in our mind, every time I felt like I gave up on something, I felt like I didn't do something right, I got to use that excuse. The excuse going to be there that we use. And then what happens when we fail at something? Those reasons that we stop trying, it weighs on us like a heavy blanket. And then we get frustrated. Dad, I should have did this. Dad, I should have did this. The energy has to go somewhere. So that's why use your frustrations as a weapon to work harder towards your goals. Before we move on to these real penetrating questions that I had to ask myself that I'm going to share, let me go through some comments. Got the homie Jacqueline said, yes. You know what I'm saying? Everybody go follow her YouTube page. follow her YouTube, understand she's got a great YouTube page. There's a great YouTuber up in here. Now she goes, preach, preacher, hey. Listen, I don't want that anointing, but thanks for... All right. Lord says again, and remember that God is working because you working. Ooh! Oh, like we say in Brooklyn, gunshots in the air. And remember that God is working. And as the classic gospel song says, sometimes we got to encourage ourselves. That's a fact. Like, who said? Like, why do we all believe this lie? Literally, I don't care what state you from, what country you from, where you from, where you grew up, nice neighborhood, bad neighborhood, rich neighborhood. We have all subscribed to this internal mental lie that A, we got to be perfect, and A, our situation has to look like this. Change is ugly. Change is ugly. I just told I was like, yo, she saw some old videos of her when she was a baby. It's like, oh my God, why is my face, like this? Why was that? Little girl. Change is ugly. Like, you know what I'm saying? You're a beautiful little girl now, but when you were younger, your face was scrounged up like a light-skinned raisin. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's look at some other comments. Lawrence Laurel says, or as Prince says, quote, whenever you say that you can't, that's when you need to be trying. Oh my God, that's a bar. Oh my God, that's a bar. Let's say it again. And Prince said, whenever you say that you can't, that's when you need to be trying. That's the thing, like, thanks to the comments. I got some lit people in my chat right now. What's going on? I'm KaleafWins in the Morning Motivation Show. The topic of today is how your environment can block your success. We're on this message of the day. And right now, let's get to these hard questions that I wrote out for myself. I shared to you. If it relates to you, cool. If it doesn't. But these questions were designed to ask myself certain questions to really help get my mind in a place to change my environment. If it helps you, cool, say it in the comments. If you have feedback, let's say that. Let's talk about it. Questions to ask yourself. If you had all the money you ever needed, what would you do for free or for fun? Literally what I asked myself last night. I would have a morning motivation show. I can be like filthy rich, you know what I'm saying? And the reason I put this question to myself, and I'm sharing it to everybody here, a lot of times we do things and we're motivated to do things because we got this cross your finger mentality. Oh, I'm gonna get paid if I keep on doing it. And there's nothing wrong with the bag. Nothing wrong with the bag. But this the first question I ask myself, yo, do you really love doing what you're doing, or are you just doing this? Because one thing I'm not going to do on this internet right here is that I'm not going to cap for monetization. I'm not going to be who I'm not. If y'all see me in real life, it's going to be a little different because I'm not going to be in a box. I'm 6'6", almost 300 pounds. You heard? But if I was filthy rich, like, what would I be doing? I'd be a mansion, but I have a better studio, and then I would be doing the morning motivation and doing other shows. So that helps me get my mind in check, because a lot of times we may be exhausting energy, and that's another thing about our environment. Like, can our environment block our success? We just try to force in something that we internally do not want to do. So I ask myself, if I had all the money in the world, I'm a multimillionaire, what would I do for free and for fun? This is the things I do for free and for fun. And another thing I do is be in a recording studio. You heard, Law? You know what I'm saying? Second question, are you truly happy with how you've invested the last 10 years of your life? I told you, these are some real questions. Like, if I write it for myself, I'm going to share it to the group and stuff like that. What does that have to do with how you change your environment can block your success? How you change your environment can block it. That didn't even sound like grammatically correct. How your environment can block your success. Yeah, it's way early in the morning. This question, are you truly happy with how you've invested the last 10 years of your life? I wrote this question down, and I'm sharing this question to everybody. Again, these were questions I initially wrote for myself to give myself to check. If we give our car all check, I think that all of us should give ourselves an internal audit. Like, why are we doing the things that we're doing, and what are the purpose? And these are the questions I wrote for myself. That's what I'm sharing to you. But think about it. A lot of us are disappointed at particular areas. If you're not great, teach us how, to get a mindset. Put it in the comments. But are you truly happy with how you've invested the last 10 years of your life? This is my, have I been wasting time, and what are the areas that I'm wasting time in question to myself? Ask yourself, what does your past 10 years look like? If you switch 10 years that you just lived and do something different, what would it be? What would it be? Now, here's the next 10 years of your life. God willing, what are you trying to do different, and what are you trying to invest in your life, and what environments are you trying to be in? That's why I asked this question, because if you look back at areas in 10 years of your life and say, who cut off a long time ago? what habits should I have not been on? What family member should I have not been around? Who really, let me put that there because we can't blame anybody else for our lack of success. Who did I allow? Yup. Who did I allow? Whose thought process, whose mind, whose bad energy did I allow to enter my life to maybe stop certain areas in my life from 10 years ago? That's why that's the second question. The third question is, are you doing what you love to do now as a career? Again, I write self-audit questions because I self-audit my intention. And then in self-auditing my intention, I know how to move better and do better. If we know how to move better, we know how to do better. And ask yourself, are you doing what you love to do right now as a career? Important question I put there. I'm going to break right there for a second. Ask yourself, are you doing what you love right now as a career? Some people might be really good at their jobs. Great. They know that they're great and they love the performance side of it. But do you love what you're doing as a career? To all my YouTuber homies out there like myself, I'm a YouTuber as well. KaleafWins NYC on YouTube. Subscribe now. But for all of those who are aspiring to have a particular content lifestyle, particular content goal, and let's say we're not doing it as a career, like that Prince quote, I'm going to bring it back up. That law says, or as Prince says, whenever you say that you can't, that's when you need to be trying. For all the YouTubers out there, for all the content creators out there, if it's not a career, do it as it's a career. How's, as a man think if so he is, or as a person think if so he is, like my mindset is in my grind set because I have to do things every day that match the environment that I'm trying to live in, right? So even if you're not doing what you love right now, every day, put your mind in that environment, to that environment, and keep trying and put yourself, all right. Fourth question right now, these are some deep questions. Again, these are my self-ordered questions that I'm sharing you guys. If you went back 10 years in time, would you live your life differently and choose a different career? Why or why not? Let's choose the homie Law that's in the comments. You can look it up on YouTube, Planet 12 Law. He is a full-time musician and has been so for like over 25 years. That's a fact. And just as a sidebar, in the comments, I'll put in the comments that stream and add to the commentary. Please no trolling, because you know how I just incinerate trolls and use it for content. I put the link to the stream so you can join the stream and add your commentary. So we want to talk. If you went back 10 years in your life, would you live a different life or choose a different career? Why or why not? I was watching that movie, or some of it, because I couldn't get through all of it. I'm going to continue watching it everywhere, at every place at once. I forgot what it's called, with Michelle Yeoh. And like, it was like a multiversal movie. And then it was like one scene, whereas what if she didn't meet the love of her life? How would her life look? And he was like, what if she dumped her husband and then his life was a certain way, and they came back in another universe and they lived high true life, so they were really rich and really successful in their career fields. Cool. That's the what if question. But if you went back in 10 years in time, we can't go back in time, but we can use the time that we have. Will we live our life differently and choose a different career or choose a different path? Even if we can't go back in time, guess what we can do? Affect the time right now. So that's why these self-introspection questions I always ask myself, like bi-weekly or monthly, just to self-check myself in terms of changing my environment so I can do better and groove better and be better. Yeah, I can't control the past. I can control right now. And if I have to see past mistakes or look at my footage, my own personal footage in my life, then I can know how to move different. Fifth question, a statement. Write down and describe what your dream career in life looks like on a daily basis. What are you doing for a living? What's your lifestyle look like? Be specific as possible. Be specific as possible. Got another comment here. Law says, that's why I keep on living and God keeps on blessing. That's a fact. Listen. And for all the people out there who might not feel that way and things of that nature, that line that he put there regarding what Prince says, whatever you say that you cannot do, that's what you need to be trying. We need to try. And the first step is to take action. Write down and describe what your dream career and what your dream life looks like on a daily basis. I'm a big visualizer. Even though I may not have a big media building yet and stuff like that, my mind is already there. And that's how, if I can't change my physical environment, I'm going to change my mental environment, how I'm thinking. And you have to like put yourself in a place that you be so much that you don't get bogged down by your current environment right now. Like I said on yesterday's show, create a digital vision board and then compile videos that match the future that you want, the future in your career you want. This ain't no motivational mumbo jumbo. It's a fact. If boxers visualize how they want the fight outcomes to go, if MMA fighters get in the octagon and they visualize every move, how their moves can be implemented and executed and really moving forward and doing what they do, if highly successful athletes process a visualization practice where they put their mind in the environment that they desire, write down and describe what your dream career in life looks like on a daily basis and be specific as possible. Other questions. Can you remember the time that you stopped doing what you love to do? Now, Lord, this doesn't go to you because we know that you're a full-time musician, you're doing your thing, and he's doing his thing. But even within him doing this thing, him knowing what he's supposed to do, he still has to go up levels. It went from gigs, then to corporate gigs. Then it went to sold out shows, to bigger venues. Everybody has a goal and level up as a professional. But for everybody that's watching this, there's one area and there's one passion you may not have activated. Can you remember the time that you stopped doing what you love to do? Ask yourself what happened. Ask yourself why those old reasons still block you from getting the energy to try. Now it's time to take away its power. There are things in everybody's life that they probably want to go to. There's probably things that maybe Law wanted to be a cook. Maybe somebody that's a great professional culinary person. Maybe they wanted to create an album they wanted. Write down the reasons that you stop, and then write down the solutions right next to those reasons on which you can implement this week to take small steps now. Again, these are questions that I ask myself, like, what are areas in my life that I stopped doing specific things I love to do? Like me, I'm gonna put it out there. I was a music producer for a long time. I fell out of love with it because I just got annoyed with the politic of it. Me and Law did our thing, other people did our thing, that's great. I'm not talking about them, I'm talking about the politics of the industry. But now we're in this internet generation where you can like formulate your own fan base and really create your own community. It's a different digital ball game. That's why I'm going to move back and do that. The old reasons for me, now again, I can't ask you a question if I'm not going to be transparent. I love music production because it's an art. Music is a craft. It is my mental health stress relief. I've been a DJ since 1992. Yes, I'm old, so what? I stopped DJing for certain reasons. Now we have a digital domain and digital access, and I'm not regulated to venues or stuff like that to let my art go. I wrote down the old reasons that formerly blocked me from getting the energy to try again, and now I have the energy to try it again in particular areas. For those that are watching, can you remember a time that you stopped doing what you love to do, or something that you really wanted to do? Ask yourself why those old reasons still block you from getting energy to try again. Write down the reasons that you stopped and write down the solutions. Here's something powerful. When you write down all the doubts on a piece of paper that hits your mind towards trying to do something you love, and then right next to that list, you write a solution, you see your stress on paper. You see that, hey, if these are the self-talk statements that I've allowed to stop me from doing what I love, I need to take away the power of those self-talk statements. All of us got an internal dialogue. I don't care who you are. Again, this ain't motivational fluff. This is real talk, and I'm sick and tired of people in my communities, Black and Latino communities, we don't get to this mental stratagem. In our culture, we need to focus on internal dialogue, because how we talk to ourselves is how we're going to think, and how we're going to think is how our behavior is going to be, and how our behavior is going to be is really how we're going to keep it moving in the world. We can't blame nobody but ourselves for our lack of success. I repeat, you can't blame nobody for yourself for your lack of success. Yes, bad things happen in the universe. Yes, horrible things happen, but if we're breathing, we're here for a reason, and we decide how we let ourselves react to certain things. And I think this is the last question, because I wrote a lot of questions. I really had to cut it down to myself. Who were the people in your life who were involved with the process to make you doubt your dreams, skills, and passions? Yeah, I repeat, who were the people in your life who were involved in the process to make you doubt your dreams, skills, and passions? Why did you let their opinions matter so much to you? Do you realize that you have the opportunities today to change your current situation? And will you decide to focus more on what you want to accomplish versus somebody else's opinions? Now, this question is not for everybody, but for those people who's it for, again, we're talking about environment, how your environment can block your success. A lot of times, there are silent haters in our lives. That environment can be that bestie or that friend person or that person that you confided in. And that person, every time you tell your dreams and aspirations to, and then you say, hey, I had a great day, girl. You know, I'm trying to do my dream. And then their energy, they can probably throw doubts in your mind. Let's stop letting these people infiltrate our area of expertise. We love them. We care about you, but you can't stop what I'm trying to grind for. That's a fact. Yo, we gotta prune energies, people, thought. Bro, I'm getting turned right now because it's true. I had to do a lot of pruning out of my life from people that I know for 35 years. Literally, like certain family members, you know what I'm saying? Or play family members. I'm like, bro, I'm not having anybody who can't be accountable for what they're supposed to do in my life. If you're not accountable, if you don't take blame and you always blaming somebody, we cannot be friends. If you have low ambition, great, I'll help you the best I can, but I'm not dealing with energy vampires. I talked about that in my last show. If you're not on my type of time, then you got to get out of line. You heard? Real talk. Who were the people in your life who were involved in the process to make you doubt your dreams, skills, and your passions? Why did we let their opinions matter so much to us? Do we realize that we have the opportunity today to change our current situation? Will you decide to focus more on what you want to accomplish versus somebody else's opinions? This might not be for you, but think about it. Real talk. Me and my wife about to go to a funeral later tonight and see an older family member who's lived a great long life. Why do I always use funeral and wake analogies? Because remember, a wake is people that love that person that passed on and transitioned to the other side come together and tell stories of that person's life. I don't know about y'all, but every wake I've been through, every funeral I've been through, there were the haters in that person's life. Some of them show up. And they still talk crap about them. So again, who were the people in your life who were involved in the process to make you doubt your dream, skills, and your passions? Yo, like Medea said in that old Medea movie, they're gonna hate you at your funeral. So you might as well do it anyway. Oh, I'm gonna say it again. They're gonna hate you at your funeral, so you might as well do what you love to do anyway. This is the morning motivation show. I had a ton of people, yo, why you doing this show? Oh, you ain't making money from it. This ain't about the bag. This is about the passion. You heard? This is mine. We can't tell everybody what type of time we on. We can't tell everybody our dreams. We can't confide in everybody what we doing. This is why I'm hyped right now, because it pisses me off that I've allowed you might have, but I've allowed certain people, they have taken advantage of my love, me confiding in them, use that as ammunition to try to make me doubt my dreams, to make me fly lower when I'm supposed to be flying higher. You heard? Yo, think about it. Who are you confiding in? Who are you sharing your energy with every day? Every time you tell somebody what dreams and level up that you're going through, are the people who are telling you to think smaller, do smaller, not go for your highest height? Why did you let these people's opinions matter so much to you? Do you realize that you have the opportunity today to change your current situation? That's what this is all about. Again, that's why the title of the show is how your environment can block your success. A lot of times we allow roaches in our environment disguised as people who we love, but they don't love us like we love them. You heard? Think about it. Who have you shared your next level vision to? Who have you shared your next level vision to? You feel how the energy shifts. You can see the jealousy, but we always downplay it. Oh, I ain't jealous. You know, they're just concerned. Nah, that's hate. If you're not as excited about my dreams and goals as I am, then you a roach. That's another word for a hater. Don't let roaches in your environment. If somebody doesn't have the same type of energy, if somebody's not trying to pour into you, lift you up, pump you up, mind you, a lot of times we need to get checked because sometimes we may be going like too left. But even if we're going too left, to have real friends say, yo, I care about you, great idea. I don't want you to look crazy in these streets. You can just go to that angle, let me assist you. If you tell somebody your dreams and they ain't trying to assist you, them dudes are spectators. I don't need cheerleaders, like my homegirl Takia said. I don't need cheerleaders, I need players on the court with me so I can take my shots every day. Jump shots. My morning motivation show, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesdays at 8 a.m. Eastern time. This is my passion. But yo, I literally cut myself off. People are like, you know what, you shouldn't post that much. You know what, this seems like a nah. You can't tell me what I love to do. You can't. And I'm sorry to everybody I can't apologize for what I want in life. Ooh, that's a bar. I'm not gonna apologize for what I want in life. We have to remove the roaches out of our life that are disguised as supportive friends. Let's stop telling everybody our dreams. Joseph in the Bible, if you know, you know. They will throw you in the pit and try to sell you off, but then you will still be king, you heard? Listen, it's a lot. Let me go to some comments real quick. Law says, Tyler Perry is the greatest example. The man wrote all the classes and shows and movies while homeless in his car. That's a fact. Word. Say what you want about Tyler Perry. Your man has been documented that he went through hell for like, I think over a decade of broke, failure. His mansion looked like the Avengers headquarters. Your man owns plots of land. He has his own movie studio. He built his own. That's a great example. If you're not on that type of grind set and you're not trying to really go for yours, really change your environment, this conversation is not for you. But for those who are really like myself, we are all in the process of trying to get bigger and better. So we have to go to new environments and better environments. Think about that. Now, here's some ways. Set your boundaries right now and change your environment. Decide who you speak to every day. Voicemail is your friend, or just be direct. Don't be direct like me, but listen, this is how I handle it. If I don't want to talk to you anymore and you want a type of negative energy, I'm going to tell you straight up, fam, it's not it for me. It's a dub. That's me. You don't have to prove my method. This is areas and ways that you can, help your environment so your success won't be blocked. Second, decide where you will invest your time. That's a fact. Then third, decide who gets the luxury of access to your energy. I don't think you hear me, yo. Think about this. And step one, and really change your environment, set your boundaries now. Decide who gets the luxury of access to your energy daily. I know a lot of people like to throw that word around. Oh my God, can't affect my energy. Oh my God, my energy. Yeah, that's a nice catchphrase to say, but when you really in the fields, when you really have to make decisions and say, yo, fam, I can't really talk to you right now. You're really on a different type of time. Let me see who you like. That's really, don't do it for the internet. Do it in real life. Decide who gets the luxury of access to your energy. And if anybody thinks, oh my God, the luxury, he wild, conceited. No, your time and your energy is precious. From when I wake up in the morning to when I go to sleep, everybody got an energy tank. We decide who we're gonna allow into, who we're gonna answer the phone for. We all know how it is. We get on the phone when somebody calls us and we make that decision. Yo, what's up? I love them. Nah, I don't feel like hearing somebody whine about their problems all day. We decide access to, repeat after me. Access to my energy is a luxury. And if you think, whoever thinks that this is conceit, you are capping. You are capping. We need to preserve our energy. If we need to make sure we bring our iPhone or Android charger with us, then we need to have a mental charger to say, yo, anything that's going to deplete my phone, my mental phone, my emotional phone, my energy phone, you can't go. Step two in changing your environment, refuse to entertain any habit, friend, or thought that doesn't align with the life you're building now. This show is called How Your Environment Can Block Your Success. Now we're talking about areas to change to a bigger and better environment. This should have been step one. I'll put this out there. Refuse to entertain any habit, friend, or thought that doesn't align with the life you're building right now. Here's my quick story time. Before I knew that I was going to go to a college, and big shout out to Wilberforce University, the first HBCU that I'm alumni of, before I went to college, I was hustling. Lord said, but he won't say it online because we ain't self-incriminating, you heard? We're not. I was hustling. A year before, finding out I can go to a college or something like that. One thing about school, something in me, like somebody came to me, blessed me, ministered to me, changed my whole situation, right? But as soon as I stopped hustling, everybody who I was around I was hustling with, I looked around the room and I was like, I'm about to catch an accessory charge from who I'm with. Everybody around me got something on me. I can catch a charge to what everybody has on them. I had to refuse to entertain anything in my environment that's affecting my goals. Even before I knew about college, I wanted to change how I was moving. Listen, it was so crazy. And again, I'm not trying to self-incriminate. My phone was tapped. That's how alive we was back then. Lord, you remember, my whole phone was tapped. You know what I'm saying? It was like that. I had like surveillance cars outside of my house. It was really that deal. And no, this is not, I'm not going to explain myself. Everybody who knows me in real life know what type of time it was. Lord was there, you wasn't. So real talk. When you try to stop hustling or you try to stop doing the same thing that you're doing, the environment wasn't trying to let me stop hustling. Why? Because sometimes the environment doesn't want to let us go because they are using us as resources and we think that they're friends and they're allies. Nah, they just using you. And you will see who's using your life when you try to change how you move. Whoever's not promoting your mindset to go into a new environment, whoever's not promoting that type of growth in your life, they trying to drain you of your resources. Facts. So area number 2, look at Lord says right here. He said, I was there. He was there. He knows. Other comment. Khalif has one of the most interesting and really deep stories and no one knows better than me. He was there because he wasn't of that environment, but he was down with me. And it was like, harsh. I'm not going to even say it on the internet because some people probably got families and they probably lived a changed life. We're not snitching here. No snitching at all. But when I refused to entertain habits, who I was around, because I didn't want to get jammed up, I didn't want to get football numbers thrown at me, and I'm not even built for that life, but everything I was around, everything I was fostering that criminal environment. You know what I'm saying? In that heavy. Listen, when you got like different vans just parked outside of your house, you know the vibes. If you know, you know. You have to move different. Other area in terms of changing your environment, find new spaces to grow into. Woo! The title of the show is How Your Environment Can Block Your Success. A lot of times if we go to the same places, we do the same things, guess what? We're around the same type of people. We're not growing mentally or otherwise. A great way to change your environment, just find new spaces to grow into. Change your pattern to grow. You got to change your pattern to grow. I call it the muscle confusion strategy. For all the people that work out, I used to do martial arts as a kid. If you keep on doing the same thing and not testing different skills, you're not going to build different muscles. You know what I'm saying? For those who work out, you know you got to just confuse your muscles. One day I'm working on the arms, others legs, then I'm going to do different workout on the arms, different work on the legs. That's a physical growth process, but why are we not mirroring that growth process in our grind? We got to find new spaces to grow into. Another reason, find new hangout spots to meet new people and invest time in spaces and around people who match your future goals, not your past self. I repeat. Invest time in spaces and around people who match your future goals, not your past self. We're talking about new growth here. And I'm not talking baby hairs, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, we're talking about new growth. If you want to level up, if you want to do what you want to do, and you want to get into a new environment, you got to change your pattern to grow. You got to find new hangout spots to meet new people. Hanging out with the same people, sharing the same ideas won't give you any type of mental growth. And when we invest time in spaces and around people who match our future goals, not our past self, watch the changes in your life in 6 months. Next step in changing your environment to remove things that block your success. Do what you're scared of to get to where you've never been. Every new experience we go through creates new confidence. We have to face every fear so that we'll be unrecognizable in 3 months. Now, for all the people that think this is hyperbole, this motivational fluff, this goes for any industry, and I'm not trying to be funny. If you're a comedian, you know what I'm talking about. You can't do the same rooms. When you do different rooms, you grow as a comedian, and it is scary. Personally, my opinion, I think being a comedian is scarier than being a gangster rapper in certain instances. Not physical danger instances, but in terms of confidence instances, I think that's one of the most scariest and bravest things to do. You know what I mean? But if we face new fears, we have new growth. If you work out a new muscle and your arm feels sore, that's a growth. It repairs itself back. That's another area on how to change your environment. Next, understand this is a process that takes time, starts with consistent small changes, and always focus on the outcome, not the growing pains. Any change hurts and it has growing pains. Every change feels initially discouraging, and it is difficult because we are changing our patterns. This ain't no instant coffee. This ain't no microwavable results. Like somebody told me a long time ago, we were talking about, I forgot what we were talking about. They said, in order for you to get where you got to go, you got to embrace and fall in love with discipline so much that you fall in love with the process of growth. Because if you don't, then you're going to be physically and mentally adverse to when it becomes hard and you're going to give up. So take small, consistent steps, and it starts with small, consistent changes, and always focus on the outcomes, not the growing pains. What do I mean? Like I tell you guys before, I am super big about saving images in my phones and videos in my phones of the places I'm trying to go, what my media building is going to look like, what my surroundings are going to look like, what type of office I want when I bring this media company up to a different level, who am I trying to be around, what type of countries I want to go to. And I have to focus so much on my desired outcomes on my digital vision boards and on my videos on my phone that I won't focus on the current stress in my life. Think about it. The reason that we stay in the same environment and we are still getting the same results and we're tired of that is because we're not taking our mind to the outcome of where we want to be. We're putting our mind on the stresses of our present situation. This is not like Cap. Think about your life. If you're repeating the same cycles, if you're repeating the same situations, before you physically can go to the new place, You got to picture it in your head, and I'm going to focus on the outcome. Yes, this is stressful. Yes, I'm broke, but this is the outcome. This is the outcome. You got to visualize. In order to see it, in order to be it, you got to see it. You got to mentally live there, yo. And I'm not going to apologize for myself because I know that's a bad habit. Like, I'm sorry, guys. But no, I'm not going to apologize for like somebody with limited thinking. If you don't understand this, then you don't understand this. Share this to somebody who understands this. Next area. Track your progress, create a daily routine, stay consistent, embrace discipline by keeping your mind on your desired outcomes daily. Yes, I wrote it twice. I don't care because this is what I implement for myself. I have a morning motivation show. I don't see it looking like this. This is my first season of my show. I'll take a break, then the second season will start. I'll decide when it happens. But think about it. I decide, you decide, or if you're going to put in the work to do it as follows. And I'm going to run through these areas. There's questions to ask yourself. Run this video back to ask yourself questions. In order, a great way to change your environment is set your boundaries now. Decide who you speak to every day. Voicemail is your friend. Decide where you invest your time. Decide who gets the luxury of access to your energy daily. Refuse to entertain any habit, friend, or thought that doesn't align with the life that you're building now. Find new spaces to grow into. Change your pattern to grow. Find new hangout spots to meet new people. Invest in time and spaces and around people who match your future goals, not your past self. Do what you're scared of to get where you've never been. Every new experiences you go through creates new confidence. Face every fear so that you'll be unrecognizable in 3 months, not to other people, to yourself. Understand that this is a process. This takes time. Start with consistent small changes. Always focus on the outcomes, not the growing pains. And track your progress. Create a daily routine. Stay consistent. Embrace discipline by keeping your mind on your desired outcomes daily. Everybody. Yes, I went in the show because I take this personal. Pardon me for the background. This is just a show and it's live, whatever. You know what I'm saying? But think about it. What do you want? Is your environment that you're currently in? I'm not talking about just physical, your mental environment, how you talk to yourself, your internal talk, your people that you're on the phone with all the time environment, the place that you go environment. Are they matching the future that you want for your life? If they're not, run this tape back. Oh, sorry, tape back. You can tell I'm old. I grew up on VHS tapes. But run this video back and really start asking yourself those hard questions. And listen, I love my show. But there's a season to everything. There's a season, and it's going to be a new growth. If I'm trying to take my show to new places, then I got to put my mind in the outcome versus how it looks right now. With my green screen all flying back in the back. I'm picturing the office I want to be in. I'm picturing the place in Midtown Manhattan. I'm going to have my show live where I could get paid by Sirius Satellite for having my show. You got to think big so you can get big. Real talk. Don't stop apologizing for dreaming big. And again, I tell it to myself, the reason we say, well, I'm sorry, I just got to keep it real. The reason we say phrases like that, because maybe we were around people for too long who had small thinking. And then we feel like we got to shrink ourselves to fit somebody's small mindset. Like I said earlier in the show, questions I got to ask myself. Who are people in my life that I'm around that when I share my dreams, they always try to make me fly lower than I'm supposed to? I'm not flying low, you heard? We building up and we bigging up. So everybody, I really, really, really appreciate you for joining the show today. Thank you for joining this episode. But please, to support my show, subscribe to my YouTube channel. But most importantly, I'm trying to get cameras and laptops for my setup so I can build bigger and better. Donate to help my show. Hit me up on Cash App at $KaleafWins. Or go to my link in bio and click support my show. I have a son on the way in about 5.5 weeks. If you want to come to my baby registry and you want to add to my baby registry, by all means, please go to my link in bio. And remember, we are making things happen. This is my labor of love. I think somebody called it my ministry yesterday. I was like, nah, I ain't no pastor. This ain't my ministry. This is something I'm passionate about. This is the Morning Motivation Show. If you know somebody who needs this show, if you know somebody who really needs this to boost up their day, share the video. Because they might need to hear some of this information. That's why I create these videos. I'll catch y'all tomorrow at 8 a.m. Eastern Time on YouTube Live and other places live. Thanks for coming to the Morning Motivation Show. Everybody have